Okay, welcome everybody. This is just going to be a city commission workshop, a discussion. There's really no formality to this. But yet again, we don't have the staff here to help us get information that we might need, some input on them, and some of the information I requested a couple of items from the finance department. I still yet to receive a couple of them. At this point, we've been stood up, and I want to say before, I don't think there's much we can do. We're going to need some additional time to study the stuff and get the information. They're not giving it to us, and they're not showing up to these meetings. One of the things that I noticed here in the letter that the finance department wrote, I guess. I don't know if it was the mayor or the finance department, technically.
The governor letter?
No, the other one. This is the finance department status report and accomplishments. So I guess it's from the finance department.
Page 1 of 6.
Right. In page 3, where it says fiscal year 16-17 budget development process, they've met with all the directors, departments, representatives, including parks, recreation, social services, passport, police, engineering, building, the city clerk, maintenance, and code compliance. But they haven't asked us for any information or to show us anything of their future progress or plans for the next year's budget. And that's kind of weird. As far as what they say here, they got together with you, Val. It was just for your department, like administration?
Yeah, just for our department.
Like to provide a budget for your department? That type of thing?
That we put in our figures. They gave us the line items that we control, and we put in our figures for next year.
Okay, because yeah, they haven't approached us for anything, to give us any information or ask us for anything. And I guess we're going to be making the decisions without information, is what I guess they're thinking, or osmosis.
Vice Chair,
Sir?
since we are on that page, I
Okay.
have a comment on the same page.
Okay.
The next paragraph before the one you referred to, the one titled Attorney Fees. If we had the finance director here, I would ask him, but he's not here. But I'm still going to throw the question that I had in my mind, even though I don't have anybody to ask. It says, like 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth line, professional fees, miscellaneous, legal, dash, account number, a string of numbers there, and then continue. This is the part. There is no funds budgeted in this account. We're talking about professional fees, miscellaneous, legal. And since the agreement with the professional services have been executed with both firms, after several invoices have been received and waiting for payment for several weeks, payments to both the special counsel firms were made following the recommendation of the city auditors in order to avoid default, additional costs, late payment fees, and potential lawsuits to the city. Consequently, as recommended by city auditor, additional funds must be encumbered to replenish account number, the same account number, to avoid audit finding and continue to pay for attorney fees. Does it mean that professional fee miscellaneous legal account never had money, or the money had been depleted already, whatever money that was there? It says there are no funds budgeted in this account.
Because they're using the tentative budget, or the budget that they want to use. I don't know what they're calling it.
Yeah.
But the final adopted budget by the commission has, I think, $100,000 or $150,000 in that.
I remember that. It was a large
But they don't
amount.
talk about that. They just
Right.
want to show.
So then they had depleted them. Oh no, because we don't know how much money they had in the mayor's budget, right?
Excuse me?
The mayor's budget, the one that was implemented, because he never accepted.
Right. That whatever he's using,
Yeah.
it doesn't have it.
Yeah, they had money in that account, or they didn't.
Apparently not, because I think that's what he's using. Because ours,
Yeah.
the city's final adopted budget had $100,000 or $150,000 for.
So then they've been paying the invoices from where? From what?
They said that they had to. The auditors and everybody tells them that they have to pay to avoid the recommendation of city auditors to avoid default, additional costs, late payment fees, and potential lawsuits to the city Consequently, as recommended by city auditors, additional funds might be uncovered replenishing the account number to avoid audit findings and to continue pay for fees. And the only reason that they say that they're paying it is because they're using the resolutions that we said that they could pay.
Yeah, but where
pay.
is the money coming from? It doesn't say.
Right.
It had to come from somewhere, you know?
From what account? We need to find
Yeah.
out.
I was gonna ask that question to either the mayor or the finance director, but
Right.
no one to ask.
One of the other thing, are you done on that?
Yeah.
Okay. On the next page, 4 of 6, there's a problem here. Like they're talking about revenue camera will decrease significantly during the last quarter and next year due to elimination of most or all cameras. And since last year, we've been talking about, for 2 reasons. Obviously, there's a financial benefit to the cameras, but for safety reasons, it really helped a lot in Flagler and 107th. All these cameras are being removed because of the construction. But even before that, there was some safety issues in some corners and some streets where we were trying to work out getting cameras. They've done nothing to try to increase revenues, even though it's beneficial, safety and money-wise. Same thing that happened with the trolleys, which it got to the point where, oh, it's too late, we can't do it. And it would have been $400,000. And they're saying here they're taking payroll statuses from full-time to part-time that have taken place in the police department. Therefore, the city may be liable for benefits. That's another thing that I'd like to know the numbers of what that's going to cost us. There's other things. I think we're going to need additional time to try to figure out some of this information and to be able to respond correctly. Because we're commissioners. We're dedicated to helping out the city, but we're not finance individuals.
No, the account.
We depend on the finance department to give us the information so we can move forward and do what we got to do. But if we're not having their assistance.
Now, Vice Chair, please.
Yes, sir.
There is a string of pages here, 1 through 21. Does anybody understand what those lists are? I don't know what.
Which page?
1 through 21.
1 to 2.
Oh, they explain it. They explain it here on
321?
21 pages.
They're showing here on page 4 of 6.
This is 4.
Mr. Suarez, please.
In page 4 of 6, on the top, I think they're using all of those pages to show the different attachment items. Like if they have a page that has the depository statement, for example, there might be item 1 or item 2 that they want to show to the government. That's why they have all those.
Yeah, but that is, you're talking about the cash flow paragraph, right? On the top of page 4 of 6.
See,
Okay,
sir.
it says attachment 1 through attachment 8, and then they only, here is
They break it down into
I
like,
think it's attachment 7, by share, attachment 7, red light camera, past due.
that's the 21 pages, but
pages.
yes,
That's the one.
Right.
Is people that were being ticketed by the red light camera, I believe, right?
right.
Because it has like, I don't know, 1,000 names.
Wow, I see.
So.
But by the way, from what I understand, a lot of these camera. Well, let's leave it
Oh
alone.
my goodness! I saw here in Indira, PA. They cut this. It could be Indira Pardillo. Look at page 1621. 16 of 21, and then look a little bit past the middle of the page. Indira, and then PA, because they cut the last name. They cut it.
Right.
They didn't put the full. Could it be Indira Pardillo? I don't know. May 17, 2015. $158.
I guess those are tickets. I guess those are tickets. that
I'm
people
going to
just-
ask her when I see her.
right.
Only 50.
This is a public record, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
It is a public record.
So,
Through the chair,
yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Is there any deadline for us to answer this letter? Because I don't want, right now, I was looking at it, we're gonna depend on having, more reports and everything, so it's gonna be more delayed and delayed.
Right.
Is there any way that we can somehow advise,
Well,
the
I-
IG that we're on the process based on what are we facing?
I don't think they're giving us a time limit,
No?
but I think whenever we respond, we can inform them in the letter. This is taking, a week, whatever time it takes, because we need to get information. And obviously, we're not getting help from the administration or the finance department, and we have to go try to request it and get it and put it together and do it in a
Yeah,
professional
my
way.
Yeah, my concern was,
Well, the
we
good
need to
news
take
here,
the time. It's just like,
right?
that they know that we're working on it.
Right.
We didn't
Well-
ignore.
If you read her letter, the good news is that she understands
Uh-huh. Oh, yes.
and says here, as of September, she is including what the auditor report states.
Exact-
That it says that the city does not meet any of the financial emergency conditions defined in section 218-503.
I read that.
So it says, however, that several of the city's unfavorable financial indicators indicate possible future financial problems, which, if not corrected, could result in financial emergency. So the idea, I think that they only deal when there's something that's a financial emergency. They respond to us to ask us, hey, you're going to get there. They're saying that you're going to get there if you keep going the way you're going. And we might be getting nowhere because we're not getting the information.
Exactly.
I don't see any new revenue streams coming in. They're basing everything on raising the taxes,
I know.
63%.
Exactly.
Mr. President, it also doesn't count the land that we're trying to sell and harvest.
They're saying that it's iffy because in their report, because
Yeah, but in here,
there's
they
they don't know what's going to
tell
happen in the referendum. That's what they're saying in their report, but we all kind of understand what's going on with that.
Mr. President?
One way or another, that is going to satisfy our
Yeah, the
our
long term.
our credit line with the bank. One way or another.
Right, so this figure
Even if
over
they take
here,
it, or-
long term, it will be different.
Yes, but they don't say those things. They only want to say the things to blame us for not raising the taxes 63%.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
the letter from the governor mentioned a section 218.503 of Florida statutes, which define the whether
Conditions.
what condition the city has to meet to avoid financial emergency. Do we have access to that Florida statute? to
Yes,
know
you,
what-
online.
Online.
You can go online, put the Florida statute, and just put that in. It'll come up.
It will
Okay,
come
good.
up, yes.
Another item.
Right. So those are things that we have to try to get together. It's going to take us time
Yeah.
because we're not finance individuals, so we're going to have to do the best we can with what we got.
We're not in Tallahassee to know all these Florida statutes
Right.
either. We have to start learning that. I'm gonna check it online. Another item, the mayor implemented his budget. We work on a amended budget and it was not implemented. There are two different budgets. Tallahassee is asking us the question that is on this letter. We are working on a budget that was not the budget that we approved. So are we going to work on the mayor's budget to see if it meets the financial condition?
No,
If
sir.
we are going to go on an emergency, or we are going to work on our budget? But our budget is not implemented.
Right.
So
What-
I'm, in that respect, I'm lost of what are we going to do?
Well,
with what? On what? For what?
We have to use
You
the
know?
budget that is the final adopted budget of the city. Forget about the one he's using. That's the one that we approved. That's the one that's the official one. It's balanced. It went to the state. It's accepted. That's the one we work with. Now, we have to use our numbers and try to get together and to write them the letter. But we need to express that in the letter that we write back. To explain to them they're using their budget and this whole thing in the court and the whole delay that they're trying to do so that it can't be resolved.
All these questions that you, and all this correspondence and communication you in Tallahassee have been receiving, because evidently, according to the letter and according to Mr. Ventura, they have communicated with Tallahassee
Yes.
more than a couple of times.
Right.
It's all related to a budget that is not supposed to be implemented.
Right.
Obviously it is.
Mr. President, you've heard me say this in the past, and I just want to go ahead and put it on the record based on your comments and questions, Commissioner Suarez. There's only one duly adopted budget in the city, and that is the one adopted by this commission. Yes, there was a tentative budget that you have to approve pursuant to state law. The resolution that approved that tentative budget stated therein that it was subject to further amendments pursuant to Florida statutes. You amended that tentative budget and approved the final adopted budget, which is the duly adopted budget of the city.
Okay.
So I think that we're gonna have to close this workshop unless somebody has any other questions. And I'll try to get to, give me a little time so that I can get together with you again and see when we can schedule either another workshop or
All right.
when we can get together or see how we work this out
You're right.
to get a good response.
Yes.
I think they'll understand if we take a
You're right.
couple of weeks or, a week or whatever to put it together.
To
As long as
the
it's
chair,
correct.
how
Yes.
do, how do we have to do this one by one, or we make one statement and we sign together, everybody in the same response.
That's one of the issues that we're gonna have to find out with the city attorney, how exactly we can do it to do it appropriately. As long as we're doing it here in public, I don't think there should be an issue either way. I would think it would be to our best interest to write one letter, so we're all on the same page. We don't write the same thing over and over. So they're reading 7 letters and trying to pick one line that maybe I made a mistake on or somebody made a mistake on, and hang their hat on that. We
And
try to-
how long we have to do that? They don't put any,
No.
No.
I think she'll understand that we're having a problem. We can't get information. So if we express that in our letter, I think she's gonna understand why it took so long.
so we're supposed to do that in the next 2 weeks? Or
We're gonna try. I'm gonna try to get information. I'm gonna ask to speak to the finance department to get information. I've been asking since May for a couple of items and I haven't gotten them, and
May I question, Mr.
we're gonna have to through public request get the information. Hopefully they give us to us quick. And
Mr. Mendez had a surgical procedure today,
Oh,
and that's why he couldn't be here, and asked Mr. Trueba to be here on his behalf.
No,
but
this is my question now.
Mr. Trueba said he had, I think, a birthday or,
right, but we have maybe 7 employees in the finance department that he's always touting about Carolina, Sanchez. They can come and at least give us an overall picture, a statement, something would have really helped. I'm not picking on those employees. I'm just saying he could have asked instead of passing the buck.
no, he's gonna be out Monday too, so
Okay, so again, it's
hopefully
gonna take
he'll
a
be
little
back
time
in
to
the
get this
office Tuesday.
done. Right. Okay, so if everyone has no more questions, we can close the workshop. Okay,
Okay?
I don't think there's a motion. We don't need anything. We're still done.
No,
We're
no.
done as of,
Everything- No.
I guess 8:20.
8:21.
Yes, sir, 8:21.